Hello and a happy new year to all of you. My first recipe for 2022 is a leek and potato soup. For this, I have a leek weighing 265 grams. I'll be using only the white part of the leek that I'm showing you now and the light green part of the leek. I'm going to cut this leek just here. I'm going to discard this darker green part. As the leek is a layered vegetable, it is common to find dirt in between the layers. You therefore have to wash the layers of the leek well. You can do this by cutting the leek down the middle all the way to the white bit. Then spread out the layers and wash them. I will use a basin of water to show you how to wash the leeks. After this, I will wash the leek under running water. There you go, layer by layer. By the way, the leek now weighs about 190 grams minus the darker green leaves. Separate the layers and rinse out any soil you might find in them. This particular leek seems to be quite clean. I'm going to remove the leek now and wash it under a running tap. I am back with a thoroughly washed leek and I'm going to slice the leek now. First, cut right through the white bit. Then remove the bottom bit and cut the leek into slices. Set it aside when it's done. And now for the other main ingredient, the potato. I have 3 potatoes here that I'm going to dice. I'm cutting the potato into rather small dices. Set aside the diced potato in water to prevent them from darkening due to oxidation. The next ingredient is a big Holland onion. Cut the onion into 2 halves, each half into 2, and slice them. When you're done, keep them aside. And now for some heat in the soup. You can reduce the number of bird's eye chilies if you wish, but there's nothing like a bit of heat in a bowl of soup. Cut all 3 chilies into little bits and keep them aside. Now for some fragrant and unavoidable garlic. I have 6 cloves here that I'm first crushing and then chopping up into little pieces. Set them aside when you're done. And now for the non-vegetarian stuff. What I have here is 1 chicken frankfurter. Vegetarians can leave this out. I'm using this frankfurter as garnish, so I'm cutting it up into little pieces and frying the pieces later. That's all for now. See you at the stove. Heat 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a pot on moderate heat. Then add the chopped garlic. Saute until the garlic turns light brown and fragrant. Add the chopped onion when the garlic turns light brown and fragrant. The bird's eye chili goes in next to be sauteed together with the onion and the garlic. Add the leek after a minute and continue to saute. You then add salt about a minute later. Then stir to combine. I then sneak in half a teaspoon of sriracha sauce when no one is looking. I do love some heat in my soup. Then I stir quickly to avoid detection. You can leave the sriracha out if you wish. Continue to saute to allow the leek to reduce. Add the potatoes after about 2 minutes. And then stir, of course. Once the leek is reduced, you go ahead and add 700 ml of chicken broth. What chicken broth you use is entirely up to you, homemade or store-bought. Mine is neither. I just mixed 1.5 tablespoons of chicken stock powder with 700 ml of water. Vegetarians can use vegetable broth. Increase the flame, cover and cook until the soup comes to a boil. Then reduce the flame to medium and cook until the potatoes are done. I'm sorry, my camera misbehaved, so I'm unable to show you the procedure that I just explained. When the potatoes are done, reduce the flame to low and add a 3/4 cup of milk. Adding milk is a healthier option than adding cream to the soup. Then stir well to combine the milk. You can then leave the soup to come to a slow boil. When the soup comes to a slow boil, stir and leave it to cook for another minute. Now what do you do if you want to raise the taste to another level? You add cheese, of course. 1/3 cup of grated cheddar cheese going in after a minute and a half of a slow boil to make the soup luscious and creamy. This is going to be one tasty soup. Leave it to slow boil for a couple of minutes. Then stir, taste for salt, adjust the salt if necessary, and then turn off the stove. We'll keep this aside for now and fry the frankfurter. Add a little oil to a frying pan that is on a low-medium heat. Then add the frankfurter bits to fry. You may need to add a bit more oil. Continue to fry until the frankfurter bits become almost crisp. Turn the stove off after about 4 minutes and remove the frankfurter bits. Here they are. We'll now return to the soup. Back to the soup that has now cooled down. To save time, I had, while the frankfurter bits were frying, removed some of the potato cubes. These potato cubes will be added later to the pureed soup. I'll be back after I puree the soup in a blender. See you soon. I'm back after pureeing the soup in my blender. Here we are, luscious and creamy leek and potato soup made in my kitchen. Let's add some chunky pieces of potato to give texture to the soup. Let's also garnish the soup with some cut chives and some bits of fried chicken frankfurter. Thank you for watching. Until I see you again with another recipe, stay safe. Bye.